This is SeamNotes, taste, standards, and the decisions nobody sees. I'm Roselis, the creator of SeamNotes, and this is my co-host, James. You haven't had a quiet moment in weeks. You are not busy. You're hiding. That is the difference. Most people keep themselves busy all the time. It's the phone, the TV, the apps, all the distractions. What we want to talk about today is what silence contains. What does it bring to you, and what does it cost you to stay within that noise on a constant level? People are always filling the space, the time with noise, with distractions, because they're very uncomfortable with just being by themselves or being quiet in solitude.
And aren't we taught that? Doesn't society teach us to avoid, to not sit in silence, to binge watch Netflix, to stay on our phone and scroll? We are in a societal time now where we are taught that distraction is number one. Run to distraction. When is the last time you sat with self, just in silence? And most people probably have never experienced that in their lifetime.
No, I think that you're right. Even in childhood. I mean, today you see it all the time. Back when we were growing up, kids would go to school. They would maybe have one after school activity, and then they would have a snack and play with the kids in the neighborhood.
Agreed.
They had free time. Now there is band. There is the debate team. There is the this, the that, the other. And then they still have homework to do, and they're busy.
And when they're not doing all of that, they're inside this thing. Right?
But that's what all that busyness has taught, to keep things going instead of enjoying the moment. Because I think that quieting the mind also helps us stay in the moment, when we can be in the here and now.
Well, so the whole point of sitting in silence and silencing the mind is exactly that, is connecting to self, connecting to that peace of the quiet, of the breath, you know?
So how does your Buddhist practice look at the resistance of the stillness, of the silent?
The resistance.
Correct. Because Buddhism, if I understand it correctly, teaches you how to be in a meditative state as you are going along
in your
day.
Life.
Because you
journey,
can be in a meditative state while you are interacting with others.
It's called a meditation break, actually. When you're in the meditation break stage, you're in the gross mind and you're doing your daily activities, but you're trying, and I say we're trying, to stay in a meditative state in the sense of just being aware of the mind's thoughts. That's all it is. So you're awake and you're being aware.
So what does your practice teach about all the distractions of the noise? Like, what does it tell us about the noise?
That it's there. I want to back up just a second. Where does all the noise come from? Are we even aware of the noise? Like, you and I may be aware of the noise. The noise of the mind. Noise meaning thoughts, where our mind is filled with constant thoughts. So we need to examine, are we aware of the mind? When is the last time you thought about what you're thinking? Society teaches us that we don't think about that. We're not aware of the mind and its thoughts. Do I need to follow the thought right now that my arm is hurting or that I'm hungry? No, we do not. But nothing teaches us that we don't need to. And the thought is the noise. The thought is the distraction. So we sit in a society and we watch television. And now we have the ability to be so distracted that we can watch TV for hours.
In one sitting.
Correct. Exactly. And totally disconnect. But what are we disconnecting from?
Yourself. Right.
And you're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to think about my stress, my kids, my pain, my suffering, whatever it is. So we tend to avoid those things.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need to focus on those things. We're choosing to, by the way. We choose to follow that thought. The thought comes up. Yes, I can choose to think about that, or I can just let the thought go like an ocean wave. So Buddhist teaching, thoughts are like the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Thought comes up. We don't attach to it, and it goes back down, etc. We do not need to follow the thought. So the distractions, we are following them. Avoiding them is not necessary from a Buddhist perspective, because we're choosing to follow that particular thought amongst all of the thoughts. If you're going to follow a thought, would you not choose to follow joy, happiness, excitement, peace? If you had to choose all of the thoughts on the table, you would choose to follow those.
Absolutely. This may seem like an absolutely silly example, but in recovery, the suggestions talk about defects of character.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow, that's a judgment statement.
Exactly. And I walked in there and I was like,
No.
These are challenges within our personality because I have to give it a positive spin. I don't have to internalize it as a negative connotation. So I give that example because you're saying choosing joy. I'm always choosing the up. Of course we have the choice.
Right, exactly. So
Of course we have the choice.
But do you understand? That is a mind-blowing statement. I can choose the way I think, hence, I can choose the way I what? Feel.
Right.
Right?
So
if we're not attaching what she was saying, destructive behavior?
defects of character.
Defect. So if we are going to attach emotion, which we do, to a word. So there are certain words you already have shown that you react to, right? We can choose to feel a certain way about a certain thing and have all the distractions and noise and not follow the thoughts. I would start there. Just be aware. What am I thinking right now? Where am I in my mind? Right? I'm watching television. I know people that do this. Watching TV. They're on their phone. There's a laptop here. There's something on the stove. And I walk in and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, I'm just relaxing.
How is that
could
relaxing?
you possibly be relaxing with your mind engaged in several activities at
seven
once?
Different things. That's not relaxing.
What are you avoiding?
Right.
That you don't want to sit with? And I truly believe that most people aren't aware that we do that or that we're avoiding anything, that we have the luxury of examining the mind, the awareness to say, let me look at what I'm thinking. Why am I thinking this? And it could be irrelevant thoughts. Like at night, I'm not a good sleeper.
Right.
And I stay up all night with random thoughts. I'm thinking about the news article that I wrote and some random meal and the kind of car that I just heard go by and random. Okay. All the thoughts, again, from Buddha perspective, they're just ocean waves. Let them go. And as soon as I turn the mind to stone, they stop. Then I go to sleep. We can do that all day long. And when you sit in the silence of mind, you'd be amazed what happens.
So
connect to peace.
Okay. So for our audience, define what turning your mind to stone means.
Stopping the thoughts. So I'm a visual person. You are a visual person. I know that. So imagine a stone. Imagine, if you will, you're walking down the street. You've got 1,000,001 thoughts. And I'm not saying checking out. I'm actually saying connecting to self. You're checking in. So you're walking and all this, too many thoughts in your head. And I do this on a sidewalk in New York City, mind you.
Okay.
And I'm like, bro, you're all over the place. And I just envision in my mind this rock. And I kind of grab it. And the thoughts just stop. There's none coming in and none coming out. And obviously this takes practice. You're not going to get it like that. Even if you don't visualize, you know what a stone feels like. You remember the feeling of touching an inanimate object that is solid. That is your thought process. It's boom, it's solid, it's not moving. And then they just stop, even for a second. And the more you continue to do that and practice all day long, you'd be amazed how you can do it instantly. And they just stop, like a tunnel. Imagine a train coming through, nothing going out, nothing coming in. And then peace rises.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go,
Yeah. I mean, I have to completely agree on the peace rising from that silence of the mind,
Right.
because I don't know how. I really don't. But I have the ability to do that and just be in solitude and quiet within my mind, with no bombardment of thoughts coming through.
And not feeling uncomfortable there. Like I have to go do something now. No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's unshakable and it's undisturbed. And I really don't know how I have been able to achieve this. I couldn't tell you 1, 2, 3, but it is present in my life, and it is such a gift. It is such a gift, because I don't sit there and go, oh my God, and what is this person thinking? And what are they doing? And what am I going to do? And what happened to my toe? Did I have a chipped nail? And none of that happens. Oh, I chipped my nail.
Yeah, thoughts gone.
In and out.
Yeah.
In and out.
You didn't attach to it.
In and out.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Very rarely do I get there. And it's usually when it triggers something that's from the past to some sort of emotion that hasn't been resolved. Because if I've processed it, water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to be able to be in that space. So you create that time of quietness. I mean, like for me, there's things that I do on a daily basis that help. The morning pages, the fact that thoughts come in and they go, like I just shared, that's something that is a part of me, and I'm so grateful for it. And that's probably why I sleep so well. In my youth, I'm not going to deny it. Yes, of course. But after I've processed all these things, and I think that one of the things that happened and I wanted to share about is, and we shared this in the last episode, is I spent a year of quiet. And it wasn't that I was sitting in like
a meditation
or doing a stone or anything like that. It was, I needed to be more still because I was healing physically from the autoimmune that loves to inhabit my body. And
so life came in and said,
okay, you got to sit, right? And so I did. And I was very blessed that I have a husband that can help, and that I have an assistant that helps me with my work, that I had a partner in real estate that was able to do the showings. And I was able to still be involved, but in a very limited space that allowed for solitude and quiet and introspective time, which is how SeamNotes came to be, because I had that period of time. Right. And so the other things that I do that protect my quiet is, I mean, on my phone, the notifications don't go off
all day long.
Unless I
How do you do that all day long?
Unless I absolutely need it to, then I'll switch them to come in. If there's something really important, I'll switch it to come in. Otherwise,
I can do it at night, but I just.
And then at 8 p.m., everything shuts off. It doesn't even register the messages unless I go into that app, and then they'll pop up. But otherwise, I don't even know they're there.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't want them to be there because I want to be able to have that time for me and disengage. You know, I give my clients parameters. I tell them, unless we're in the middle of negotiations, or it's like something that is somebody's on the other side of the world and we only can speak at a specific time, after 7, I'm not available.
Right.
That's it. And before 9 a.m., I'm not available, and I'm not going to respond. And it's just that simple, because otherwise it takes all your time.
And what would you say is the benefit from doing that? What have you learned, maybe?
It all leads to self-love and self-preservation and self-esteem and self-everything.
Care, self-care.
Yeah.
Peace, maybe.
You know, and really being able to tap into the inner you that we keep talking about. That quietness really is so important. Those moments are so key.
for me, and I 100% agree. Yeah.
That's what I want you to share with us now.
So from a Buddhist perspective, I found the path quite a long time ago, and I've been practicing 20 years. But in the last handful of years, I've really just dived in both feet. And it's changed my life, bottom line. Sitting in silence is a blessing. As an only child, I am good about being by myself. I'm an Aquarian. Aquarians can be very aloof at times. I'm either the life of the party or I'm just sitting by myself. I'm good. But in those moments, I sit in silence, usually in a meditative state, but even out of the meditation break, it's just blissful to have the mind go. Instantly, I am no longer attaching to the self that I perceive and all of my challenges. And I was telling Roselis, when I sit in a podcast, something switches and I'm no longer attached to self. Meaning James is not thinking about the 1,000,001 things I could be thinking about that all are about me and mine. And then I get here speaking to you wonderful people, and the mind calms down. All those thoughts go away. So I'm sitting in silence while we're doing this. And it's magical. And anybody can do this. I hear it all the time. Oh, my mind is too busy. Nobody's mind's busier than mine. You can calm the mind. And the benefit is the peace will arise. And when you do that, you'd be amazed how your life will change.
Yeah.
When I walk out of a taping for a podcast, I am bouncing. I'm so light and I feel so good. And I caught it the other day, taking out all the noise. Thought.
And you're focusing on other,
which I love to
self,
do, right? Which is not about me. You know, my benefit to doing SeamNotes is it's definitely about giving back. But if one person, if a light bulb goes on for just one living being,
we've
accomplished the goal.
Accomplished what we wanted,
sure.
we set out to do. Life teaches in an instant. So how do you roll with it? How do you pivot? I was having a discussion very similar to this recently with a dear friend of mine. And he said something that I had to write down because it was so beautiful. He is an artist. You can look him up. His name is Nathan Brujis, Brujis.
Buddhist.
And he said, silence is a necessity. The space between the sound is a huge part of the music.
Correct.
I thought that was so beautiful and so simply said, and it said so much. Thank you, James. That was really good. Lots of nuggets in there. This week, carve out 10 minutes of intentional silence. No phone, no TV, no radio, no distractions. Just you alone in the quiet. Pay attention to what surfaces.
Exactly.
Simply that. This is SeamNotes, luxury from the inside out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.